Selling your house soon? Well, there's a new buyer broker agreement in town as of August 2024, and believe it or not, it does in fact affect sellers. Today's video, we're going to break down how it affects sellers, and stay tuned to the end because I'm going to have a pro tip for you. Hey guys, Cameron Stewart here with the Homes by Cameron Stewart Real Estate Team powered by eXp Realty. In August of 2024, the National Association of Realtors implemented a new change called the buyer broker agreement. You would think it would only affect buyers, and that's kind of true, but it also affects sellers, especially in the strategy when it comes to developing a listing price and accepting offers on your home. So today's video is going to revolve around the seller's perspective on understanding the new buyer broker agreement, how it affects you, okay, how we can sort through all the fluff, get down to the basics, which is to sell your home, and you want to sell your home quickly. So we're going to help establish a baseline understanding of the new buyer broker agreement from the seller's perspective, and hopefully get better educated on it so we can streamline the process when it comes to selling your home. Okay, so what is the National Association of Realtors settlement all about? Well, the National Association of Realtors settled in August of 2024, August 17th of 2024 to be exact. They settled stemming from litigation from a seller that stated they were unaware that A, they had to pay the buyer's agent when they sold their home, and B, that they had no clue how much it was. So the idea of this lawsuit was to create better transparency for buyers and sellers alike when it comes down to who is paying the realtor's commissions, whether it be the buyer's agent or the listing agent, aka seller's agent, and how much those commissions are. As a part of this settlement, we are now required to provide more transparent, more clear understanding of the commission structure, whether the seller or the buyer is going to pay for it, who is paying the respective listing agent versus buyer's agent, how much it's going to be, etc. It is important to know that these have generally been very, very transparent. However, we have an area of opportunity here in the real estate industry because anytime we have even just a handful of sellers or buyers feeling like they are being mistreated by the real estate community and industry, that's an area of opportunity for the real estate industry to respond, and in this case, to provide more transparency. Okay, so what we're really facing here is a misunderstanding issue. Okay, so what we're aiming to do is provide more transparent commission structures when we are listing the home. So from the seller's perspective, when we agree to list our home with an agent and we agree to the commission structures, this is going to provide better transparency, not just for the buyer in the buyer broker agreement, but for the seller when listing their home as well. So what does this mean for sellers, okay? At the end of the day, the buyer broker agreement, it's the agreement between the buyer's agent and the buyer, correct? Well, that's true. However, it does also require more transparency around commissions, and that starts when you're listing your home. It starts with the listing agent, aka seller's agent, and the seller themselves when they're drafting their listing agreement. And as I mentioned before, sellers have always had transparency regarding their commissions. However, brokerages across the country do have the ability to develop their own listing agreements. What we are doing now is we're going to be including specific language that guarantees transparency throughout the nation when it comes to these commission structures, who's paying them, and how much. So with that said, what does that actually mean for the seller in the listing agreement? Well, it means that there's, number one, there's going to be a separate box that you're going to check that clearly states you understand that you don't technically have to offer commissions. Let's go over that real quick. Let's imagine you own a car dealership and you'd like to get people to come in and sell your cars for you because you don't want to do it yourself and you can't, you have to run the business, but you're not willing to offer your salesman a commission. Are you going to have any people to help you sell your cars? No, because no one's going to work for free, correct? So while you are entitled to sell your home for sale by owner, that is the way you can sell your house without potentially paying commissions. It's going to be very hard to convince an agent to sell your home for you while not offering commissions. Okay, that's from the listing agent side. From the buyer's agent side, if a seller is unwilling to offer commissions to a buyer's agent, once again, they can do that. I'll tell you why that might not be a great idea. Well, it might not be a great idea because 99% of home buyers have a real estate agent. And if you are putting up a barrier for them to also have to take care of their down payment, closing costs, as well as the commission to their agent, you're going to find a lot less buyers interested in your home. And what I mean by that is they will buy your neighbor's home at a higher price if they don't have to pay the commission to their buyer's agent than buy your house a similar house at a lower price, but have to pay their agent. That's just the truth of it. So aside from declaring that you don't have to pay a commission, it's actually going to break down exactly what the commissions are, okay? So the old contracts generally just had a bulk commission and it was generally 6 or 7%, okay? But the seller actually had no clue how that was broken down. Let's say if it was 6%, was 3% going to the buyer's agent and 3% going to the listing agent, was 5% going to the listing agent and 1% to the buyer's agent. There's a little bit more transparency on this now because there's going to be an exact amount. It's going to tell you how much you're going to pay your agent. If you're just paying your agent and there's a buyer's agent, it's going to detail how much you're paying your agent if they're representing the buyer as well. It's going to tell you how much you're paying the agent if they're not representing the buyer, but helping the buyer purchase as an unrepresented buyer. Okay. It's going to detail all of that. Furthermore, it's going to have you select whether or not you're going to have your broker pay the commissions of the buyer's agent or whether you're going to pay the commissions of the buyer's agent. Time out. This is very important. I don't want to get down into the long tail form of this because we're getting to the weeds of it because it's going to take very, very, very long. However, what we're going to see, become obsolete is the co-broke commissions, otherwise known as the seller reserving the bulk commissions to their seller's agency or brokerage and having that brokerage cut the check to the buyer's agency. That's not going to happen anymore because brokerages are going to look to indemnify themselves to not get sued. So what's going to happen is the seller is going to pay the buyer's agent directly. Now, here in Central New York, this is the way it's been happening for years. So we got confused at first. A lot of the agents in this area got confused at first because really the change was nothing. It was how we were doing it. But in other parts of the country, they were doing it in different ways with that co-broke where the seller was paying their broker and that broker was paying the other broker. The seller is going to pay the brokers individually now, and it's going to be done at the closing table the way it always has been done here in Central New York. So when it comes to commissions, once again, just more transparency. There's a question ahead of time that says, you don't technically have to pay commissions. It's in your best interest to do so, okay? The negotiation is how much commission you are going to pay, and that's what you're going to rely on your listing agent to do. They're going to sell their services to you. What are they going to do other than list it on the MLS for you? Are they going to hold an open house? Are they going to market it digitally? Are they going to market it on social media? What are those things that they're going to do for you to set them apart from other listing agents, okay? Ultimately, this gives you the ability to compare listing agents, compare the options and services that they provide you, and make the best decision when it comes to who's going to help you sell your home and for how much. So why is transparency a win for sellers? Well, first of all, my argument would be transparency is just good in general when it comes to trusting someone else with agency in your financial decisions. You are giving real estate agents agency over helping you handle your transaction. Transparency and commissions is going to help you negotiate when offers do come in from potential buyers. It's going to help you better negotiate those offers. You're going to know how much you're paying your agent. You're going to know how much you're paying the other agent. You're going to know whether or not the other agent is going to be paid by their buyer, okay, with that offer. This transparency is going to help you get out of the weeds, streamline the process, and make better and quicker decisions when selling your home. Choosing the right agent to help list and sell your home is more important than ever. It's critical to look for an agent who is knowledgeable, transparent, and ready to explain the process to you. Not just the process of selling the home, but the strategic process of how we're going to respond to inbound offers, how we are going to utilize not only the listing strategies that we've always had, but the strategies revolving now around the new buyer broker agreement to help you maximize the value for your home and not sell you down the river for commissions to a buyer's agent. A great agent is not just going to help you understand this, but they're going to help you navigate and guide you through the process as well. All right, so here's some key takeaways from this video for sellers. Number one, you have more transparency over commission structures, who's going to pay them, and how much they're going to be. Number two, choose an agent who can clearly explain their value and strategies. Number three, this settlement is designed to help empower sellers to make the best decisions when selling their home. All right, guys, before we close out this video, let's go over the pro tip I promised you in the beginning of this video. Listen, commissions are always negotiable, okay? And negotiation comes not only when you're negotiating with your listing agent to list your home, but it's also going to come when you're receiving inbound offers, okay? First and foremost, when you're agreeing to sell your home and agreeing to a buyer's agent commission, and let's just say you agree to 3%, you're agreeing to pay your agent 3% and you're going to agree to pay the buyer's agent 3%. Well, Let's not advertise that. First and foremost, we can't advertise anymore what these commissions are online. We just can't. So what we're going to do is we're going to receive inbound offers without the agents knowing what the commission is. If we are agreeing to pay 3%, but the buyer's agent was only able to negotiate 2% on their behalf from the buyer, well, guess what? You're not going to pay that 3%. I'm not going to have you pay that 3%. You're only paying that 2% to the buyer's agent. If they are unable to sell their services to their client at 3%, I'm not going to allow them to sell their services to you at 3%. Okay? You are only going to pay what they established with their buyer. So that's your pro tip, which is commissions are always and have always been negotiable. And it's very important to allow the offers to come in without knowing what the commissions are. You're probably going to save you 0.5% just by that alone. So guys, let's get your home sold. At the end of the day, this new NAR settlement is going to provide more transparency to sellers just like you when selling their home. Let's get out of the weeds, let's streamline the process, get more educated about the process so we can make more informed and quicker decisions when selling your home. If you're interested in finding out more information, you can call me directly at 315-351-2765. But if you like this video, please smash the like button and subscribe and share this with your friends and family. My name is Cameron Stewart with Homes by Cameron Stewart Real Estate Team, powered by eXp Realty.